We never want to be put on the bench in life, do we? Playing God's way means learning to be coachable, like Michael said, holding on to faith when the pressure's on, like Vic said, and then choosing to trust the process even when we don't see the full picture. God's got a plan for you. God's got a plan for you. God's got a plan for you. Some people truly believe in God and genuinely love Him, yet they live frustrated because they want Him to reveal the entire purpose, their entire whole purpose right now. They don't want to walk through the process. Early on in my walk with God, when I was just on fire for God in college, and I went, I think I was at that time, I knew I had a call on my life, and I was in transition. I was with my parents at our lake house in Florida, and we went to a special service, and I didn't know anything. I wasn't brought up in a church like this. God mercifully leads us sometimes. Aren't you glad? I don't know how I got to where, I got not necessarily good English there, but God loved me enough to get me on the right path. And one of the ways He did that is through a guest minister at this particular service. And for some reason He called me out and said, I see ministry in your future. And that bore witness with me, but and if it didn't bear witness with you, when people try to give you a word, you better make sure that word's aligned with the Word of God, and what God has already placed in your spirit should confirm it. If it surprises you, don't do it. But anyway, and this minister, my point is, so many people want to see God's full plan right now. I went to another service right after that first one, and he said, anybody who would like to have prayer over, you just come on up here. And I went up there to see what else God was going to say. I went up there to see what God's going to say. You know what the minister said? You know what? You're trying to walk through the second door when God's only giving you the first door. Be faithful with the first door. Leaning away, a word quickened to you. You're in a service like this. You know how I found my first assignment in the ministry? Is seeing how Tony Cook served Pastor Hagin. And I said, that's what I'm called to do for Bishop Hash. That's how I saw my assignment in when someone else was doing it. But I didn't have the detail. I just followed that next nudge. I followed that next step in the path.